Calculus. It is a branch of mathematics that involves the study of rates of change. Before calculus was invented, all math was static. It could only help calculate objects that were perfectly still, but the universe is constantly moving and changing. No objects from the stars in space to subatomic particles or cells in the body are always at rest. Indeed, just about everything in the universe is constantly moving. Calculus helps to determine how particles, stars and matter actually move and change in real time. So the takeaway from this slide is that calculus is a branch of mathematics that deals with moving objects, or it is dynamic. So calculus is dynamic. It's not static. So that is the takeaway from this slide. Calculus and pre-calculus. Pre-calculus is more static, whereas calculus is dynamic. So that's the main difference between pre-calculus and calculus. Calculus. Before going to calculus, you should know about pre-calculus, limits, and then come to calculus. Think about why we need to learn calculus. What is the importance of calculus in the real world? If we learn calculus by understanding the importance of calculus, we will be able to appreciate its real value and use calculus in whichever field it's applicable. Then we discussed about the examples of pre-calculus. An object traveling at a constant velocity. Constant means fixed, which will not change. That comes under the section of pre-calculus. Slope of a line and area of a rectangle. And I explained it in the class also that area of a rectangle which has a length and width, so its area will be equal to 10 multiplied by 5, 50. So this comes under pre-calculus. Now coming to the examples of calculus, an object traveling with a variable velocity. Variable. In the previous case we have done with constant velocity, and here it's variable velocity. Analyze the variable curvature, area under a curve. So area under a curve means, suppose if we want to find the area of this curve. So this shaded region, if you want to find its area, then we will have to use calculus. Then we discussed about secant line and tangent line. A secant line is a straight line joining two points on a function. A tangent line is a straight line that touches a function at only one single point. One point. The tangent line represents the instantaneous rate of change of the function at that one point. So let's look closer with a figure. So in this particular example, there is a tangent line and it's very clearly shown that there is only one single point here. This is a single point where the line touches the curve. Hence it is said to be tangent line. Whereas in the secant line, as you can see, this is the first point and this is the second point. So there are more than one point in this line. So that's why it is said to be a secant line. Now consider this graph here, in that the P2 can be considered as a, that means the green line can be considered as a tangent line because there is only one single point here. Whereas P1 and P2, that means the blue line can be considered as a secant line because it touches at 2 points, P1 and P2. So this particular table shows the difference between pre-calculus and calculus. Like slope of a line average rate of change, or area of a rectangle. These are the examples of pre-calculus. And then the counterpart calculus concept is slope of a curve, instantaneous rate of change, or area under any curve represented by a function. So what we have learned from this week, we can conclude that pre-calculus mathematics, limit process, and calculus are the three stages of calculus. Calculus is a limit machine which involves these three stages. That means these three are interrelated to each other, but there are certain topics which can only be done purely with calculus with the help of limit as well as the pre-calculus concept.